Good morning, everyone. It is stupid o'clock, and I am up to read you Stability Chapter 1. As you all know, it's Moon Galaxy, but I honestly prefer Jiro's bitch, but I'm not gonna put it that way because I don't know, I'm just too lazy to fix it. Alright, we're gonna start reading this first chapter. I'm sorry for any background noise or me pausing during anything or any other noise other than me reading. So let's get to it. The next few months were an absolute pain. I couldn't catch a break from cameras or questions, and everywhere I went, people recognized me as All Might's rude kid. I didn't ask for this, and I certainly wasn't ready for the attention. But honestly, if the world thinks I'm a bitch, so be it. I can't be bothered trying to appeal the people who have hurt me so dearly with their words of venom. School was definitely much worse than it already was, due to the amount of morons with questions and nasty words. The last day of school came around, though I was definitely not complaining. Toshi and I were in our seats around the last period of the day. We already finished our writing exams a week ago, and today the teachers were letting us know if we passed or not. Our homeroom teacher walked in and the class got quiet. I was sitting in the back right of the room, staring out the window. So I'm guessing everyone here wants to be a hero, the teacher mused while holding a clipboard in his slim hands. The whole class burst into ruckus of affirmation. Sorry about that. The whole class burst into a ruckus of affirmation. The only ones remaining quiet were Hitoshi and I. Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, but only three kids get to be in the hero course. I wasn't surprised when the class turned deathly silent. It was as if a weight had suddenly been added to their backs. And who are they? Someone stuttered very That doesn't make any sense. Okay. Someone stuttered, clearly nervous about the whole ordeal. Well, 3 people got into UA. What? There's some mistakes in this story, so I'm gonna have to start proofreading this shit. Okay. Well, never mind. Well, 3 people got into UA. The teacher carried on while the class quaked in anticipation. I sat still, not really bothered, as I knew for a fact I got in. The reason behind my confidence making my jaw tighten. Those students are Hitoshi Shinso, Yaga? I don't know. I'm terrible. Yeah. Your last name is All Might's, so there you go. Toshinori something or other. And Neto Monoma. Shock filtered through the classroom, their souls seemingly leaving their body. Why? Well, that's because Hitoshi and I were always told we couldn't be heroes because of our quirks. Because our quirks were too villainous to ever get into the hero course. Funny, isn't it? We're the children of pros, yet we were always told we would become the opposite of what we were raced into. I couldn't help at the irony, though. indignation flaming inside my gut. They stared at us with malice and shock, malice slowly filtering through their gazes. Wow, isn't that ironic? I mused as they all turned to me. What were you fuckers saying about never becoming a hero? I felt great satisfaction agonizing them and antagonize. I felt great satisfaction antagonized. I'm terrible at reading, and it is the butt crack of dawn, and I'm tired, and I don't care what this word says. I felt great satisfaction annoying them to and I was unapologetic about it. Maybe you should have been worried about your own quirks than what others thought about ours. The look on their faces was priceless. Alas, it was interrupted by the scum of the earth, aka Neto Monoma. Don't get too ahead of yourself, Yin. You haven't passed the entrance exam. His ever so cocky smirk grazed his lips. Hitoshi caught my eye, and I gave him my best friend a smirk, earning one in return. Actually, Monoma, Yin and I got into UA through recommendation, Hitoshi said in an ever so calm tone. The look of shock on the moron's face was hilarious, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't revel in it. What? Okay, whatever. Neto Monoma was my worst enemy ever since we met in kindergarten. He constantly tormented me for simply existing, and his excuse for it all was that he was taking down a soon-to-be villain. I hated him with every fiber of my being, and if I could get away with shipping him off to Antarctica to freeze his balls off, I would. The fucker is the first person on my kill list if I were to be a villain. Not that I ever would, because I hate villains, and they're against everything I stand for. But it's still food for thought. But villains are so amazing, and they're just mistreated. Don't hurt villains. Learn their side of the story first. The only reason why you got into UA is because your dad's All Might. Don't get all high and mighty, Yin. We all know I'm stronger than you, he said in the most self-absorbed voice ever, making my skin prickle in a fiery rage. He's dead. And that's where he went wrong, Hitoshi said, leaning back in his chair as he examined his nails like they were the most important thing on the planet. In one swift motion, I used my quirk to lift Neto off the ground and bring him closer to me, my eyes glowing purple. You want to repeat that, bitch? My voice was chillingly cold, and I sensed his wariness. He gulped but smirked all the wise. He was not one to back down, and it's the quality I hate most about him. You're still weak. His voice was defiant. I used the hand I wasn't holding him in the air with to make a purple energy orb in my hand. It glowed like a neon bowling ball that weighed more than a ton as it levitated an inch from my hand. But gruesome training had honed my strength. I brought it near his face, a purple glow grazing his cheek. I wonder if you'd still be wearing that smirk if I cut your dick off. I watched his hot eyes widen in panic. Yin, for the 100th time, put him down. I heard the teacher sigh in resignation, and I reluctantly listened and did what I was told. My eyes turned back to normal, and I closed my hand to a fist, disintegrating the ball of purple energy I had levitated in my palm. I sat down and glared at Neto. He visibly gulped and went back to his seat. It was a 50-50 chance every time we fought, whether I'd get physical or not. Luckily, this time, it didn't, but fuck, I wanted to wring his little neck right now. As I was saying, the 3 kids who got into UA are extremely talented, and we expect great things from you in the future. Then the bell rang for the last time this year. Class dismissed for the last time. Good luck at the entrance exam, Monoma. And then he walked out. Time skip. Hitoshi and I walked to his house in our neighborhood because we had decided to train this afternoon. And because his house was simply closer than mine, even if I lived a block away, we walked into his gate and up the front door and unlocked it to go inside. I'm home, Hitoshi shouted. We walked into the living room and saw his dad, Shota, dealing with a bunch of paperwork. Hey, kid, he said without looking up. Hey, Uncle Zawa. Then I looked up and raised a brow. Yin, what are you doing here? I deadpan. I was chilling in the dishwasher, I said, pointing to the kitchen with my thumb. Hitoshi snorted and then started dying with laughter due to the reaction his dad gave. The caterpillar looked extremely confused. It's probably the most confused I've ever seen him. You're a weird one, kid, just like your dad, he said with what looked like a grimace. I got defensive. What? Hey, no! Don't compare me to that man who can't wake me up in the morning without screaming, I am here! At this point, Hitoshi was on the floor trying to catch his breath. No, you're right. I'm sorry. His voice was deceptively apologetic. Damn right, I sulked. You're worse. And that's what I was expecting. Hey, listen here, caterpillar. I'm way better than All Might, and you know it. He looked up to me. You're better than him at giving me a headache, that's for sure. I sulked and grabbed Hitoshi from the floor. Come on, stupid, let's go train. Your dad's being rude as fuck. We did combat training for 3 hours till it was time for me to go home. My dad came and picked... My dad came and picked me up as I said goodbye to Hitoshi and Uncle Z. When we were walking home, Dad was being extra weird. I couldn't put my finger on it, though. Maybe he's just sick? Who am I kidding? He's All Might. He doesn't get sick. Oi, Dad. He looked at me questioningly as we walked down the concrete path towards our house. Why are you being so weird? He responded with a defensive tone. Small Might, what are you talking about? I looked at him. Something about him is suspicious, but I don't know what. He's not being as chatty as usual, and it's starting to creep me out. I scoff. Just know, whatever it is you're hiding, I'll find out what it is. I always do. He looked nervous, but didn't deny he was hiding something, confirming my suspicion. Whatever you say, Small Mite. And that is the end of chapter 1. I'm debating whether or not I'm going to read a chapter from a different book, because I'm going to read chapters from either My Hero Academia, don't judge, but How to Train Your Dragon, like I said, don't judge, requests are open. I have different books that I read from, but I'm not 100% sure what they are. I'm slowly writing my own, but it's not very good. Oh, and I'll be reading stuff from Naruto. Don't judge. Some of the people in Naruto are they're kind of hot. Most of the Naruto ones are not slow burns, so I'm sad about that. But like I said, requests are open, and do not request for Bakugo because I do not read that stuff. I'm not a fan of Bakugo. I prefer Kiri Baku because that seems like the most, I don't know, it just seems like the most likely to happen. And if you want, some of the females from My Hero Academia or Naruto, I can do that. I can definitely do that for you guys. I am probably gonna get more books. Well, not books, but like find more books on Wattpad because that's the format, or that's the thing I use. It's a really good app. You have to be careful because some of the things it will show complete, but sometimes it won't show mature. And some of the mature stuff is not for kids. It's not some of the mature is just, someone hurting themselves or something like that happening. So you have to be careful with some of the books, especially the mature ones. But yeah, I will see if I continue reading a book. I'll see. Do you want like How to Train Your Dragon and stuff? Because I need comments on this. Like, seriously, help. But if you made it to the end, thank you. Remember to like and subscribe. And I might see you in the next video, or I'll see you next week. Moon Galaxy, partly signing off.